All right. So, what do you want me to call you, by the way?
You can call me QY.
QI? Okay, QI. All
Yeah.
right. QI. Where you're from, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of Dota. You know, how long you've been playing, what role you play, and things. So some of the viewers will get to
Okay,
know you
sure.
better.
Yeah, so I'm from Singapore. And I've been playing Dota for maybe like 10 years, but I took like a really long break in between.
Okay.
So I used to be around 5K. I would play like Tinker mid all the time. So it's just, I'm pretty sure I was just 5K for like one hero, and
Okay.
everything else just sucked.
All right.
But yeah, then I took like a two-year break, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like recently I started playing again, and now I'm playing carry.
Okay. And I see you like TerrorBlade, as you did submit a couple of
Yeah,
TerrorBlade
so
replays here.
I saw your TerrorBlade guide,
Uh-huh.
and I thought it'd be a good hero to learn because it's one of the heroes that can solo carry the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like yeah.
Right,
So
makes
that
sense.
yeah,
But
like my plan is, every patch I just learn like one or two heroes that are in the meta.
okay, that's
But my
cool.
hero pool is really small now.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
besides
right.
TerrorBlade, I can play Void and Sven and Life Stealer and Wraith King, but I think Wraith King isn't so strong now. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, that's about it really.
You said your other heroes were Faceless Void, Wraith King. What was it?
Life Stealer, and I can kind of play Sven as well.
So you got a pretty big hero pool. I would say that. And the game that you watched was Miracle Game, right? Miracle Terrorblade guide. What was it?
Yes, yeah. You did a guide.
Okay, cool. I'm happy to hear that you're inspired by one of our videos to play your Terrorblade. Okay, so the games that you've given us, these are games that you have lost,
Yeah,
essentially. So that's good. So we can see a lot of like the mistakes or things that you could have done better to further improve your gameplay.
yeah. I actually watched through these replays on my own as well, just so I
Okay.
can like get the most out of this session.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. What'd you say your MMR was right now?
It's 4K, but this is my Smurf account. Yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay.
played all the way from like 2K, and now it's 3.5, I think.
Oh, all right. Cool.
And yeah, like until around 3.5, I was pretty much winning like every game, but now I'm starting to actually lose a few games. So yeah, I think my MMR is probably somewhere between like 3.5 and 4K.
Okay, that's cool. First of all, your item build, I love it. I think it's great. I assume this is like the same build Miracle went for.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
realized the Fairy Fire is really good on TV
Oh
because
yeah,
like
you
the
have a lot
super
of
high
armor.
armor, right? So it's actually like
Exactly.
3 or 4 hits. Yeah.
Exactly. You got a lot of armor. You can use that. You can back off and bait your opponent in. It's really good. Okay.
Yeah. Especially
Um.
at like lower brackets, it's so good.
Exactly. Okay. So first of all, I can already see here like you went back. You kind of blocked this. I assume in your bracket, people aren't really blocking that much. And even if they do block, like the wave is probably gonna like end up right here. And because in this wave, you blocked like just even a little bit. What ended up happening was the creep went into your tower, right? The creeper went into your
Yeah.
tower, and especially in the bracket that you're playing at, it's really a big problem. Your supports oftentimes don't know when to pull or how to pull properly or like efficiently. So it's important that you try to keep your wave like in front of your tower as long as you can. Okay, and that way you can also have the ability to be able to chase this Necrophos down when you pop your meta and like go to him. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Makes
in
sense.
these kind of games, try not to block. Like even if you block, like you can block when it's like near your tower here to in case like your opponent blocked a lot. Okay, so in your tower here, you already have vision of this area, so you can see like where the creep wave is.
Yeah, like ideally my support would be checking to see if they're blocking.
Right,
And
exactly.
but it's not here for some reason.
Yeah, ideally, but because like you did end up blocking, the creep wave goes into your tower, and now like
Yeah.
it's kind of problematic, right? Because now this wave is gonna end up here, and your support is like still walking from top rune to bottom, top bounty to bottom, and then like this necro is gonna have a free lane now at this point,
Yeah.
right? So that's already like the first thing that we should consider is let's not try to block the camp so you can stay here, you can gain all the armor and the HP region from the tower and just try to last it in this area.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So here you pop your meta, and this is where like it feels really bad popping your meta because the lane is actually pushing into your opponent, right? So let's say the lane was frozen here and you pop your meta, that means your Necrophos has to contest the creeps down here. But instead, when you popped your meta, the wave is already pushing into your opponent, so the Necro is just going to run back. He's going to wait till the creep wave meets here, and then now you can't run this Necrophos down if it goes out of position, right? So you can see already, like level 1, it feels extremely bad for you that you were not able to pressure your opponent just with the first meta alone. So that's the first thing. Like, especially in this bracket, don't block the safe lane. Just let it go. If the creep wave meets here, you can always pull the aggro from the creeps and you can pull it to the range and you can get it denied. Or you can pop meta and deny everything and chase down the enemy offlaner if they go out of position.
Makes sense.
That's good. Yeah, you're denying, but you're playing on the left side. All right. Do you think you could have done something better here? You have meta. You're stronger than both these heroes. And the support is like down here. He's like getting bullied by the bounty or something and wants to pull next. What do you think you should do? Where do you think you should be positioned in this situation?
I guess I should be standing further back.
Kind of, but there's a particular reason why you would stand a little bit more back, right? Especially if the bounty hunter shows up. So when you're, I'll help you because this one is not that easy to realize, right? When you have meta on and you're really strong, you kind of want to play like, if you're not chasing one hero down and it's 1v1, you kind of want to play inside the creep wave so that if the opponent comes in, then they're going to pull aggro from your creeps, they're going to get hurt by that, and when you're running away, they're going to keep on tanking damage from the creeps. Okay, so you see how like you're playing on the left side here? It's a good move, but the moment the bounty hunter shows, you need to run into this creep wave. Like, you need the protection of this creep wave here. Does it make sense? So you see what happens? You're like denying. It's really good. But let's say if you were here, if this bounty hunter came in to harass you, then all these creeps will get pulled aggro onto the bounty hunter and you can just fight them back or just walk away while all these creeps will chase the bounty.
So I should stand near my own creeps.
Exactly. Because it's 2v1, right? So
yeah,
this is where
I didn't really expect the
bounty to show up. Yeah,
I just didn't notice it was there actually.
Right. So because like you're not kind of like running back towards your creeps, ends up being the bounty chase you out of the lane all by yourself, and you kind of like, you know, feel really bad because you have your meta on and you have like what, another 10 seconds left and you can't really utilize it to your fullest abilities, right? So it's
whereas
really,
if I'm standing near my creeps and I can just hit them back, right?
Exactly. If you're in the creep wave, he aggroes you, that means these creeps will follow the bounty and he will get more hurt than you would. But instead now it's like these creeps are gonna battle here and you're getting zoned out of your own lane.
Yeah.
Right? So next time think about like when your support is pulling and it's a 2v1 situation, try to play inside of your creep wave or next to your creeps or wait for the, you know, the creep wave to come to you.
Yeah.
Okay? We're gonna keep watching and you can see here like, you know, you miss some creeps because the bounty hunter, all good. And now your Shadow Demon is going to pull bottom to try to get that lane back. And you can see like how this all started because of you blocking the creep just like for 2 seconds over here.
Yeah.
Right? You see the chain reaction of like what occurred in this lane. Where if you didn't block and the wave always met like right here in front of your tower, you would probably be crushing this guy already. I would even expect you have like 8 last hits against this guy. No problem.
Yeah, definitely.
And you would have probably denied a few creeps too. But instead, like the creep is up here, he's getting free creeps, and the bounty's also harassing you. So it wasn't like the best outcome for you, at least.
Yeah. Do you think like in this situation, like since I already blocked the creeps, maybe I should have saved meta for when the creep wave stabilizes?
Yes. Or you could have used meta once the creep wave met up here. Because when you use meta, you're actually stronger than they are, right? Even in like some 2v1 situations, as long as you're having the support of your creeps, right? So you should, when the lane goes into your tower, you no longer need to use meta. The reason why you're using meta is because you want to contest for last hits. When the creeps go into your tower, the opponent isn't really going to contest you for last hits. You can kind of like easily kill those creeps.
Yeah.
Right? With the support of your tower. So in that situation, if the creep wave does reach your tower, then you should have just let the next creep wave go here, and then when you have a double wave, with the protection of your double wave, you can pop meta and bully the Necrophos out by like, you know, last hitting or hitting him or something like that. And if they try to harass you back, you have a double wave, they don't. So your creeps are gonna support you.
Yep.
Perfect. Great. Glad you actually understand that. It's a really good question because that's exactly what you should be doing. You should definitely wait and pop the meta on the next wave instead. So now you get your illusion. You use it to help you tank the creeps and also get the last hits. Good. And this is where it gets a little bit harder because obviously you don't have your meta. But that's okay. And I assume you have like a Wraith Band coming out already and a Magic Stick. Nice, that's awesome. Magic Stick against these heroes are really, really good. Very high value.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Keep on watching, okay. As of right now, you've done like, apart from the level 1 and the blocking and stuff, everything has been really good. Second meta comes out, you use it instantly. You kill the Necrophos, absolutely perfect. You get a raindrop, gives you some mana regen, also some damage block against the Necro, really, really good. I mean, your early game is very well, like the way that...
Yeah, especially like the later games that I struggle with. Because early game is you get a lot of practice, right? Every game you're playing. Like,
it's very
lane
similar.
state. Yeah, and like, but late game is there's so many different situations that you find yourself in, and it's so difficult to actually get good at it because you lack practice, right?
Definitely. And here, okay, so this is something that we need to think about, right? So that this is a third meta. You kind of just pop it. Let's see like where you pop it first, okay? So you're here, the Necrophos is in front of you. Your Shadow Demon is pulling. He doesn't really have any mana, and then you kind of just like pop your meta. You go on.
I actually have no idea why I did this. Like, I can't remember, but it looks so bad.
Right.
I watched the replay again. Yeah.
It's not terrible because what you can do with this meta is you can shove the lanes really quick and you can go into the jungle after that. Okay. So one thing about TerrorBlade is he's a really bad hero at staying in the lane when the opponent is already level 6. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I didn't realize the Necro was 6.
Right, but you need to consider like the timing for when you want to already go into the jungle. Okay.
Yeah.
And also for TerrorBlade, I would highly recommend you get a second Wraith Band. Like minimum 2 Wraith Band on this hero.
Okay.
This hero is like absolutely insane with these stats, and if you buy a second Wraith Band, it gives you the perfect item slots. Like you won't even sell your second Wraith Band until like mid game, like 25 minutes or something like that anyway. So you buy
I go to Wraith Bands and no one.
I think wand is okay too if you want it, but I prefer you keep it like a small magic stick and you buy another Wraith Band and you just like, you know, go through your items. Because like later on, this wand isn't really going to do you anything, right? But if you do want to buy wand, that's still okay. You can buy wand and you can have 2 Wraith Bands. You're going to have enough item slots. It's not a problem.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Because you're going to go like Power Treads and you're playing against Bounty Hunter, so you're going to need to decide to go Manta in this game anyway. So you're going to have like Treads, 2 Wraith Bands, wand, that's 4 items. Then you're gonna have Quelling Blade, and then you're gonna have Manta, right? And then later you start your.
I usually don't go Manta, like unless like I really need the dispel.
Okay.
Yeah. So normally I go S and Y.
Okay. Is that only like is that majority of your games are going S and Y?
Yes, unless it's like some kind of Treant or only when I need the dispel.
Right. Well, in most games you would utilize a dispel in some way, but Manta's really good because it gives you 2 more illusions that do damage from your meta, and also Manta can let you split push lanes.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I do go Manta sometimes. I kind of look at the lineup and I see like if they have a Saban or something, then Manta doesn't feel so good.
Okay.
Like a lot of AoE, right?
Right. It actually makes sense. It's just that later in the game, like Manta just scales way harder than SNY would, right?
Is it? I always thought it was the other way around actually. Like
No.
SNY,
No.
like it doesn't do a lot immediately, but later on when you get like Satanic and all that, you just feel so much stronger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm imagining it, but the games that I go Manta versus the games that I go SNY, it just feels like when I have Manta, I'm just like way squishier and I don't do as much.
Right.
Yeah,
it just
maybe
depends how you use your Manta, right? It really depends on how you use your Manta. If your hero has like Scotty, Manta, and then you have Satanic, like your illusions are not gonna die. Right? They have like 4,000 HP or something by then. and the illusions, even though they take amplified damage, they're just not gonna die late game. And the thing about Manta is like it allows you to farm a lot safer because you can constantly like put illusions on. Like in this game, for example, you're playing against Bounty and Clinks, right? If they jump you and you pop your Manta, right, they can't fight you back. Because first of all, they need to figure out which one is real. That's already a problem. Secondly, but while they're finding out which one's real, you're wailing on them with 3 TerrorBlades.
Yeah, actually, I guess this game is pretty good, right? Because they have a lot of single target.
Oh yeah, it's amazing this game.
It's only like the Tiny and the Necro that have AoE.
And even the Necro, like if let's say Necro comes to you, if you pop Manta, he won't know which one is real either right away. So he can't Reaper sight you. So it's another reason for you to have it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I see Miracle go Manta a lot as well.
Right. I would say Manta is more like 70% of the games, and then the other 30% would be like SNY.
Yeah, I think for me it's more like 50-50, maybe a bit more SNY.
Right. Anyway, we'll watch this game and see like what you could do better, like in regards to that, and how you could utilize an item like Manta if you actually end up with SNY. But here, what I want to move on with here is like you pop your meta, which I think is okay. It's completely fine. But when you pop your third meta,
I probably should have waited for the Shadow Demon, right? Then I pop my meta and then,
right. No, you can wait for him, but he doesn't really have any mana anyway, so you'd be waiting a long time for that. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
So what you want to do at this stage in the game is you want to amplify your farm, and using a meta is fine because it does amplify your farm, right? You're gonna pop meta, you're gonna kick this Necro out, you're gonna shove the lane out, and then after you shove the lane out, you need to think: are you gonna go kill the next wave with your meta, or are you gonna go jungle? Right? And with TB on your third meta, like when you're already level 6 and it's already about nighttime, you can already expect your opponent to be level 6 by 7 minutes in the offlane, right? If they're hitting level 6, then you should already be leaving this jungle, because TB is not a hero who like stays in the safe lane and protects his tower all the time.
Yeah, I do think about like whether I should be leaving the lane, right? So like here, I think it's quite clear that I shouldn't be here once the Necro is 6. But like sometimes it's not so clear, right? Like the other day I was playing a game where I was against an Underlord.
Yeah.
And I had a Witch Doctor support.
Right.
So like here, usually what I try to think about is like whether the offlaner threatens me. So Underlord doesn't really threaten me, right? And so that kind of makes me want to stay in a lane to defend my tower in a way.
Right.
And then I try to look at the mid heroes as well. So if they have like an enemy storm, I'm much more likely to just go jungle. Right. Yes, but sometimes it's just not so clear. Like if I have like a support Wyvern or Phoenix, then I can just go jungle and they can defend very well. Right. But like a Witch Doctor, he's just gonna like die to a lot of offlaners.
Yeah, but
maybe
let's think about it this way, right? If they have a Witch Doctor and you're a TerrorBlade and they're diving your Witch Doctor, that's okay, because they're just diving at position 5 and they're going to take a lot of tower damage. If you stay in the safe lane, you're only going to farm 4 creeps every wave, and you're not going to be able to farm jungle creeps, because the Underlord is just going to drop his Firestorm and shove the lane into you. There's no point to you to defend that tower. You know, like you got to think what will amplify your farm. The first 7 minutes of the game is when TerrorBlade like does his laning stuff and like slows down the enemy or whatever. Then after that, you have to think about how to make yourself farm faster at that point, even if your tower will die, right?
So it doesn't matter that the tower goes down,
right? Because you don't have any kill threat on the opponent. Them keeping you there is like actually very beneficial for them. They're happy that you're staying there. You're not in the jungle farming like 4 or 5 creep camps every minute.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's just about like how much I get out of the lane versus like what I get if I go to the jungle, right?
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's just not so clear to me, because there is some value in keeping the tower alive as well.
Okay, so let me put it this way. The only time the towers can die is when there's catapults there. So at 5 minutes, as long as you kill off the catapult, you can do whatever you want. Okay, because what happens is once the catapult is dead, that's the thing that does siege damage. It kills the towers faster. Whatever creeps come into a tower, as long as it's a support, all they have to do is hit the creep once. The creeps will like follow around this jungle like this, and then they will just explode and die. And your opponent is just gonna waste time trying to kill a position 5.
Okay,
That's the case like 99% of the games.
Yeah, especially versus like Necro, right? He doesn't like really.
Yeah, he's not
care
gonna do anything. These towers are strong, you know, they're not easy to kill, and as long as the catapults are dead. So your job as a carry, most of the time, especially if you're a TerrorBlade, is to make sure the catapult dies, the 5-minute catapult dies bottom, and then after that, you're literally free to do whatever you want. Doesn't matter how bad or how well the lane goes for you.
So it's just about like whether I get more out of the lane or whether I should just go like whether I get more when I just go jungle.
Exactly, at that point. And especially when there's a hero who can kill you like Necrophos. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, like, I just want to show you. Let's go back here. So this where you pop meta, why I said it was okay is because there's a catapult in this lane. And now, because you pop meta, the opponent will run away, and you can now kill this catapult.
Kill the catapult, so it's not
Exactly.
so bad.
Exactly. That's why I don't feel bad you using meta here. You kill the catapult, perfect. What I want you to do after this is I want you to think about how to shove this lane as fast as you can, so you can go into the jungle already. Because if you stay here and you don't shove the lane and the lane doesn't go here, then you're making your opponent have an opportunity to push the lane back into you and put pressure onto your tower.
Yeah.
So as long as the lanes are pushed out, they cannot pressure your tower. So here, you deny some creeps is really nice, but you should focus on like obviously killing the creeps first, and then deny the creeps, and then run away into the jungle. Okay.
Yeah, I think here I was still focused on like I was denying the creeps and just like trying to zone the necro out.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't matter. It's already 7 minutes in. You can't actually zone this guy anymore.
Yeah.
At this point, you gotta think like laning stage is over for you. You gotta go jungle, because that's the thing about TerrorBlade. He needs to jungle in order to be fat in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you died, which is very unfortunate. But realistically, you're already getting this lane out, and you're already out of the lane by the time your meta is even done. Okay. But now you revive. What do you do?
My support is like, let's say my support is if it's like doing other stuff, then I should kind of adjust my farming patterns, right? To like shove the wave out, then go jungle, and then by the time the wave comes back, I can defend the tower again.
Sure, if you're nearby, that's fine. If you
so
want,
like if I'm playing like life stealer, right? If I'm winning the lane really hard, then what I always do is I shove the lane out, then I go like hit the big camp.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like with TerrorBlade, I can't really do that because I'm not really strong enough without.
No, you're not. Like that's the difference between Lifestealer and TerrorBlade. TerrorBlade farms super fast in the jungle. Lifestealer doesn't, and Lifestealer has rage. That's his strength, right? His strength is to be able to sit in the safe lane and never allow the opponent to take the tower.
Yeah. So with TerrorBlade, like if I want to do something similar, like maybe shove the wave out, but I'm not strong enough to hit the big camp.
Yeah.
Then, but like the other big camp is just so far away. Right, the one on the left.
Yeah, it's as a TerrorBlade, it's much better. You just abandon your lane.
Okay, so I shouldn't even like care that much about my tower.
No, you
just
shouldn't.
Kill the 5-minute catapult and then just go jungle.
Yeah, exactly. Because the next time this tower will die will be after 10 minutes only. Okay, so the 5-minute catapult, if you kill it, and then you can push out another lane, whatever makes you strong because what you have meta up, then after that you want to go jungle. Because then you already have double wraith bands, you have magic wand, whatever, gloves if you want.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need boots, right? Like when you're jungling, like ideally. So you can just go all the stat items and focus on your farm after that. So here, like you died and then you TP back bottom and you kind of like ran around, you killed like 2 waves. But during that time, you like right now, you should be the highest net worth by far. It's not even close, you know?
Yeah, I was like wasting too much time in the lane. Like here, for example, right? I see the wave coming in, so I think I just go back to the lane.
No, you don't go back to this lane.
But
It's
it
so
feels
scary.
so bad to have like that's just like gold and XP and no one is taking it.
Yeah, that's fine because you gotta assess that someone in your team is doing something else. Like these guys are going on top. They're killing the carry. They're killing the tiny, right? So what you're doing is like you want everything at the same time, you know? You want like the whole cake, but you just gotta eat like a piece of it. Right? So something you can do if you want to really like be annoying is you can send an illusion bottom, you can drag the creeps to you in the jungle, somewhere safer that you can farm. Right? If you really want to defend the bottom tower.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea actually.
Yeah, that's better. And then you can focus, you can let your hero keep on killing the jungle creeps, you know?
Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But right now, for me, I think you're way too underfarmed in this game. Even though you had a really good lane. You had a first blood in this lane, too.
Dire's middle tower
And like with your first blood, you should definitely have bought like a second Wraith Band.
Hmm.
So again, same problem. This is probably your biggest problem, actually. Like I can already see why like you have really good laning, but what happens is that you stay in your laning stage way too long.
Yeah, like
11
my idea is
minutes.
that someone has to defend the tower, right? But I guess it's not always true. Yeah.
That's not true. You're not a life stealer who can sit here and shove the lane out. Like if you're TB and you cannot shove this lane out super fast and go into a jungle, then you're doing something wrong.
Mm.
Right? A support position 5 could literally sit here and do the same exact thing you're doing.
Yeah, like if he was here, I wouldn't be here for sure.
Right. But if he's not there, assume that he's doing something, and if he's not doing something, you can tell him to just get XP bottom and you can jungle already.
Okay.
Right? So in the game at 6 minutes, your support is probably staying with you. You just tell him, hey, you can get XP bottom, I'm gonna go jungle, and you just go jungle.
Mm.
Right? And then he understands, oh hey, free XP, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. I didn't really tell him. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you gotta communicate that with your teammate that hey, I'm gonna go jungle now. So it's like 11 minutes in, you're still like up until now you've only hit one creep camp, pretty much. So it feels extremely bad. And now you go into the jungle.
Although I'm pretty sure we could have killed the Necro. I don't know why he disrupted before the Necro W.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got quite annoyed.
It's okay, but at the end of the day, like things like that happen. You know, you gotta understand your team is so like if you really want to carry your games, you need to definitely think about like how you can maximize your farm. And you're maximize like right now. I think if you started jungling at 6-7 minutes, you would be like level 11 already. Actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you're going for a Dragonlance. Is there any particular reason why you're going Dragonlance here, or do you normally always go Dragonlance?
Like usually I just go Yasha if I think I can get away with it. But like against a tiny bounty hunter, I think I need the HP.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't feel safe. Yeah, just jungling with Yasha, I think I die too easily.
Right. No, I completely understand that. That's a pretty cool idea. I like it. Yeah, as long as you have like good reasoning for it, I think it's great. And now here you took the 2 bounties, you play a top side, you take the tower, really good. And look at your net worth. Look how it just skyrockets, right? Like after you've actually left your lane. But while you were in the lane, it was not skyrocketing. You only had 3,000 net worth. So in like what 3 minutes or 4 minutes, you farmed another 3,000 net worth or something ridiculous. It's insane. So now you're playing around top and middle. You're waiting for the camps to spawn. You see your allies bottom. You go back.
Yeah, I didn't want to like risk dying because my team was showing.
Right. You push mid out. You farm this too. Really good. Oh, you stacked that for yourself. Nice. And okay, so in these kind of situations, I think it's really nice if you definitely had somebody like constantly pushing top out, like sending these creeps into the tower here, so that the enemy had to like react into this area of the map. So like when you're farming this, you don't want to like go back into this jungle, especially like at past 15 minutes. You want to like after this, you want to go into a top jungle, even though it's kind of dark.
Yeah, usually I would do that, but I just didn't feel safe doing that. Yeah, because the map is really dark and all of them are missing. So I thought like probably just like join my team. Although I don't think they should be there, right? Like there's no objective at bottom, so it's kind of weird. Like I wasn't sure what to do here.
Right. So even if it's not safe, right? Even if it's not safe, you can just go top and you can start sending illusions into the jungle. Right? Like you don't have to put your hero in danger. All you need to send is like be here, summon illusion, and send it here, and like push a lane out, right? And eventually these creeps are gonna give vision for you. Right? Because the creeps are going to go into the tower, the enemy's going to go to the creep wave, they're not going to run past like a black map of their own to try to find someone who may not even be there. That's the power of TerrorBlade. Right? So you want, and you have like this build where you're super tanky. You have S and Y, you have Essence Ring and Dragonlance. You shouldn't be afraid of anything, to be honest. Right? If you're up here and they jump you, you click your Essence Ring, you have 20 stick charges, you're going to start running away, you have a Sunder, your team TPs, you're just going to turn around and wipe them.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, there's no way that they can burst you, like, in this game, because that's how strong you are already, and you need to assess that for yourself in the game, too. Because right now, you're playing too safe, and you're not really providing any, like, pressure for your allies by pushing the lanes out. Because you can make their life easier by constantly pushing this lane into the here, and your opponent has to react to top lane and bottom lane at the same time, or even top lane and mid lane at the same time. Okay? So think more about like getting the lanes out with your illusions, and not only like lanes that are coming in, but lanes that are going out as well. Like this lane. It's going out to your opponent, so you can get that out faster by sending an illusion there and getting all the last hits too, obviously. Yeah?
Okay.
Cool. So in this kind of game, what was your next item choice before I even continue playing?
I think I got a Scotty, which like felt quite bad.
Yeah.
Like if I could like play the game again, I would get probably MKB and the Pike.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it seems better than Scotty. Scotty feels like it doesn't really do anything in this game.
So what item do you think you should have won?
I think I should have gone like MKB and then Hurricane Pike.
Exactly. MKB would have been insane this game. Why? Because they have a PA. So when you play against like hero like PA or Wind Ranger, like you have to buy MKB.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
So
I got MKB after Scotty, but I think that's just too late.
Too
like
late.
all the game fights, I just like no one can threaten PA if I don't have the MKB.
yeah, it's way too
played
late.
MKB, yeah.
I mean, you do have Nether Toxin from the Viper, but if the PA is like farmed or she has like
he got,
BKB,
after that, so-
exactly, then you can't do anything anyway, right?
Yeah.
So definitely in this game, like if I was you, I would have went Dragonlance into a Manta, because I see that you need to remove Bounty Track. You can Manta when Clinks goes on you. You can Manta and make it harder for your Necrophos, for the Necrophos and Reaper site as well. And you can
Yeah,
remove
you have so much single target, right?
dagger, exactly. So if you went Manta also this game, you would feel like much better pushing the lanes out with your Manta illusions and your illusion, and then you can just keep jungle farming with your hero until you get strong enough. Like you could have had MKB and then you could have had Scotty as well before you went into a team fight. No problem.
So you'd have gone like Manta, Scotty, MKB?
No, Manta, MKB, then Scotty. You need that MKB like third item, because when you enter a team fight, if you don't have MKB, you're useless against this PA.
Yeah, it's I just couldn't kill him at all.
Right, so you need this MKB like
Danger of dying.
yeah. So if you have Dragonlance Manta, you already have plenty of HP, and you're also keeping a like Essence Ring too. So it's fine. You don't need like anything else. Actually, Vambrace would have been great.
You think Vambrace is better than Essence Ring?
Yes, I think so. Because then you can just make it into Agility Vambrace and just summon your illusions and send it out. And then when fights start, you can switch to Strength Vambrace, and that'll give you magic resistance as well.
Ah, okay.
Right? So when the fight starts, you're much tankier against Necro and Tiny. They have magic damage, right? And just Vambrace is just an OP item for TerrorBlade. It gives you 10 attack speed and 10 agility, and also other stats like 5 to everything else. So
10 strength is how much HP?
200.
200.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also gives you magic resist, like in the fight. Like you're gonna want Vambrace essentially. Like it's just too good. It helps you farm as well.
So probably the best tier 2 item would be Vambrace?
Vambrace or Aquila.
Aquila.
Yeah, both are very
so
good.
Aquila is, so you get like Aquila over Essence Ring.
Radiant's courier.
It depends if your mid laner doesn't want Essence Ring, but normally your mid laner wants Essence Ring, like this Viper, right? So you don't want to like make your other heroes have like worse items just because you want, something.
Yeah,
this
okay,
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, I just wanted the HP.
Right. So here, like you rotate bottom to your team, and like you just said yourself, there's no objective bottom, so there's no need for you to actually be here, and you're kind of like making yourself farm slower while also like trying to do something where there's no objective, right? Like they already got bottom. In this situation, it's much better instead of just running back to your team, just farming, but using your illusions to scout for you. Right? Like you want to keep on playing away from your team and keep amplifying your network. That's why they're playing together, because they're actually trying to make space for you in these situations too.
Yeah, okay.
Radiant's courier. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So as you can see here, like we're watching the minimap, and since like the entire game, this lane has just been stuck here. No one has gone in this lane at all, right? So because this lane has been stuck here and you're not like pushing this out, your net worth on your allies is like still the same thing, even though you guys like had a really big lead in this game, to be honest, early on, right? And the way that you continue to build a lead is by constantly pushing lanes out and making your opponent react to those lanes.
Yeah, like, this is kind of a strange game. I don't normally like play this way. Yeah, normally
Right.
I'm just playing up and shoving out
Okay.
the wave.
Okay.
I guess it's because of their heroes, like they have to invest, and I didn't really feel safe like getting so far away from my team.
Right. I mean, what you can do in those situations, if you want, you can buy a ward for yourself. It's like free, right? And then it's okay for you to spend 75 gold for a sentry, and then you just drop a ward and sentry yourself, like right here on this high ground. Imagine you do that, and then now you suddenly feel very safe in the game, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is a matchmaking, and matchmaking at lower MMR is not a team game. It's like you're playing for yourself. So you gotta do it yourself. You know, your support isn't gonna do it for you. So if you really want to win and you really want to get ahead, these are things that you're gonna have to think about. Right? And because you're playing TerrorBlade, you want to spam TerrorBlade, it'll be easier for you to realize those things because you're not thinking about some of the other smaller stuff. So, like in the game, you feel like, oh, they have a bunch of Invis heroes, and that's what you come up with, then buy yourself a sentry and a ward and just put it right here. Put it right here, it'll watch any rotation coming from this area to your jungle here, or even down here, right? And that way you can just stay here, farm with your hero, and then send your illusions to the wave and shove it into the tower.
Yeah.
Okay, there's your solution for that.
Radiant's bottom tower has
So let's see
fallen.
what's going on. Now you go top because you see your opponent's middle. And then you're going for Scotty. So yeah, this is a big problem, not going for MKB first.
Yeah, I just don't have enough damage.
Yeah, and you don't have a way to actually deal with this PA either because of all that evasion. Because she doesn't do damage to you either, but if you had an MKB, then you do damage to her.
Yeah.
And it's really good on her to buy BKB first item, like after Deso, because if he doesn't, then the Viper will just kill the...
Yeah.
So here, big fight top. Go in. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I couldn't do shit, dude.
Yeah. And your team is like fighting away from you. Feels really bad.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And you send the illusions top. And yeah, just see like Midas as a farming tool, you know? Like it just helps you push lanes out even further and more lanes and stuff. Like every Manta style will always like kill one creep wave, guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
So it's really good. And now you're getting hunted top. And you don't have Manta to remove his silence either. Pepe hands.
Yeah, like I just assumed that their team would be with the Necro because they were killing the Necro mid.
Right.
Yeah, so I went top, but they were like beside me in this.
So now you have kind of a disadvantage. Your team is probably a bit deflated too about this game because they felt like they were winning. Now they got Roshan, and now you're gonna start queuing up your MKB too.
Yeah, I think we probably just lost because of my item choice.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't even kill this PA, and that's it. Alright, we're gonna stop right here. Okay. Because at this point, like, the game just feels, like, impossible, and even if you do get MKB, this PA is, like, one entire item ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about TB, obviously, you farm faster than PA. So what do we learn this game? Number one is...
Leave my lane earlier. Right?
Leave your lane. Okay, so first of all, it was a block, right? The whole blocking thing, and not letting the creeps go into your tower first. First wave, especially. That's very important. Second was leave your lane, right? TB, like after your third meta, especially at nighttime, like you really don't want to stay in your lane if you don't have meta anymore. You're like, you want to go out and you want to start jungling, and we want to buy that second Wraith Band. Okay, that item, like Wraith Band, is like your biggest source of damage for your illusions. And then you don't need to go this boots. You can just go gloves. You can even go Band of Elven Skin. Like you can just get whatever items that help you farm faster in the jungle. Right, early on. That's what's important. And then you just keep jungling. And then you just like, your pattern is like this. You know, I'm sure you know the pattern. You watched it in the Miracle game. So
like for Dire, the camps are a bit closer together, right?
Oh yeah, Dire jungling is way better. 100%. Like
okay, so which 3 camps should I focus on? Because there's 4 camps over here.
Yeah,
so...
you will farm this one, and this one, and then when it respawns, you farm this, and this, and then you move to the right jungle.
Okay, yeah, that makes
sense. So like normally you start here, you go here, and then you farm this one more time, and then you go into this jungle and you start farming the triangle, and then you probably have your meta up again, and you can make your way down to the bottom lane and meta, and take the tower or like farm around there.
Yeah.
Right. That's generally what you want to do. So yeah, leave your lane. Third thing, you bought Dragonlance. I think it was a great idea because they have tiny and they have a lot of like burst damage. It was cool. I liked it. But I want you to think more about buying Manta Style. I think it's extremely important in the games, okay?
Okay.
Especially the single target, even if they have a bunch of AoE heroes, like if you can use your Manta to push lanes out and delay the game, it's better. Like Manta, SNY is like a fighting item. Manta is also a fighting item, but it can also be an item that can help you delay the game. Right? By just using it to push out lanes and build your net worth up even higher. I know it's like more on your mind because you need to micro more illusions and stuff, but once you get used to it, you're gonna see like this item is just busted for TerrorBlade.
Yeah. The micro is fine. Like the games where I get Manta, it does speed up my farm.
Right, and then once you get Manta and you get MKB and then you get Scotty, and all of a sudden you have like 5 illusions, your opponent can't engage into you anymore. Right? Like you want to be able to use meta illusion Manta and just like wail on one hero, and they just can't get out with Scotty on them. Okay, so that's that's the other thing. Fourth is you have to think a lot about the item that you need to buy to counter your opponent, right? You play against PA, like this is like the straight up counter 1-to-1. You have to buy MKB.
MKB earlier.
Right. Another hero that's like that is also Wind Ranger, right? Wind Ranger is also another hero. If you play against like a Sven, for example, now you can buy like different items like this one, like Scotty, right? SNY Scotty would have been amazing if you fought against Sven. Right? I don't like Manta against Sven, like you said. He will kill it too early, and also like this one has really good effects against a hero like Sven.
Yeah, just to kite him.
Right, exactly. The other thing was like you said, you doing it in other games, this game you didn't, but you have to understand your strength. Like when you have all these items, like it's still okay for you to go top and push lanes out, because it's very unlikely that the opponent is actually going to run into you with 4 or 5 heroes if your allies are already pushing out the other lanes.
Yeah, I was definitely playing too scared.
Yeah, like I'm watching from your perspective, right? I'm not looking at like both sides here, and I'm watching from your perspective. You're constantly seeing like some heroes bottom, but you're still playing very scared top. And then we want to buy wards for ourselves if you feel like it's a bit dangerous and you need some vision top. Okay, so you buy wards for yourself. Like I see carry players, high MR carry players do that all the time. Actually, it's even a common thing at this point. Okay. All right. So that's what we took away from this game. Let's check out the next games. What we got. Which one do you want?
Look at the last one.
The last one? That one's better?
I haven't watched the replay for the second one yet. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this last one, you are playing against SF, Sven, Bouncer, Ogre, and Tusk. When did you pick your carry? Last pick or before that?
I tend to just like first pick it.
Okay. You might want to wait and pick it a bit later in the draft, so you're not getting like more counter.
I know, but it's like it's good, right? If the game is harder, then in a way I learn more.
Right. No, that makes sense too. It's just like counter picking is a part of Dota, right?
Yeah.
So you need to really utilize it. If you're like trying to gain MMR,
yeah, definitely. But this is like my Smurf account where I like
right.
So I'm just like first picking TB.
For those, his MMR on this account, I think you said is 3,400, right?
It's like Legend 4. I think it's 3.5. Is it?
Yeah, 3.5, and he used to be a 5K player. He stopped playing, so he kind of.
Yeah, I used to be a 5K Tinker Spammer.
Tinker Spammer. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this game again, you're Radiant.
30 seconds to battle.
You check bottom, cool. You take the other rune, very smart. I can see that your biggest strength, and see this game, because of where the wave is, you never block. It's amazing, Now you can pop meta and kick this guy right out of the lane, and you're very happy. Yeah, you probably even kill him. You're like fast. There we go, free kill, and all because your meta wasn't your lane wasn't in the tower.
Yeah.
And this is how like your first meta should be used, right? This is when it feels really good.
Yeah, zone him out.
So now you're gonna get a Wraith Band out. Where's your Wraith Band anyway? Oh, you always wait for your magic stick first?
I got the first blood, so I thought I'll just wait for the second Wraith Band.
Ah, okay. It's much better you just send your first Wraith Band out right away. Like,
Okay.
because you get instant damage, right? Like even with first blood, like you get instant damage, right? And that's what you want. Because like when the courier goes back, you're gonna get another one or something else after that too.
Yeah, but the courier is like so slow. By the time it comes to me and then it goes back and it comes again, it's like
Right. I understand. It's just much better. Like you want to use your courier right away because you don't know what's gonna happen in the lane, right? With your first set of damage, with your first Wraith Band, you could have maybe got 2 extra assets. You never know, right? Like you want to have that instant advantage in your lane. So using the courier and letting it go back is better. Maybe when your courier goes back, now you can buy a second Wraith Band and a range drop with it. Instead, now like you wait for the second Wraith Band, now it goes back, and then you get your range drop or whatever. Like it's much slower, right? It's much better to just send it out as soon as like you get your power spike of your item, whatever it may be. Cause see, by now your courier could have already been there with your Wraith Band, right? Actually, the next level thing would be dropping your items on the Phoenix's courier. That would have been next level as hell. But that's overly complicated. But it's true, right?
Yeah, but it's difficult to like
coordinate that. Don't worry, don't do it. I was just like, thinking about it, right? Like putting your item on your support's courier. So yeah, look at this. See, your Phoenix brought his boost much later. The courier delivered it and it's already going back before your courier even started bringing your second Wraith Band. So you see how like you have such a big missed opportunity, right? Like in this lane because of it. So that's okay. Anyway, you're farming, you're doing really well, you're denying creeps, you have no meta. It's good. Your second meta is about to come out. You pull for yourself. Amazing. I like it a lot. What you did here.
Really rely on my supports to
yeah, so what I would do here though, instead of bringing the creep wave into the tower, I would have actually dragged these creeps into here and try to get your range creep denied. Because what that would do is these neutrals will kill your creeps, and then these creeps will also help kill your creeps, and then after that the next wave will come and sit in front of your tower. And then you also have meta, right?
So I should have pulled their creeps into mine.
Yeah, put their creeps into your range here and get it denied right away.
Okay.
Right, and you also have meta, so that way if they could come here to contest you can just pop meta and kill them.
Yeah, I didn't think about doing that. I just thought it's better to just pull the wave into the tower, and then the next wave will like be in front of my tower again.
Yeah, it will be, but it'll also push back into your opponent because this is just a single camp, right? Because now you see there's gonna be a double wave going into your opponent soon.
Yeah, that's true. So I should have denied my own range.
Yeah, you can deny it, and because you're so strong early game, you can just pop the meta and fight them back if they try to contest the wave.
Yeah,
it's really good. Because you're snowballing especially. Now, if you're not snowballing and they're stronger than you, then you probably want to bring that creep wave into your tower and just farm it.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Right, there you go. Pop meta. That's unfortunate, he TP'd out. But you're just going to keep farming. Again, this is probably your biggest strength, honestly. It's like your laning stage. And like what you're doing. You pull again. You're making your Phoenix's life very easy by pulling for him. So here it is. This is your third meta. Let's see what you do this game. And you can see like at this point in the game, you've already used up all your resources, like your HP regen, and like enemies starting to get stronger because they have higher levels. They start tossing skills on you. It's annoying, like your HP is constantly low. So this is another reason why like you don't really want to be in the lane anymore, because they're annoying you. They're making you think like, oh, am I gonna die? Am I gonna get ganked and all this stuff? So another reason why it's really good to just like get out of the lane. But look how you're already playing. You're playing very, very safe because you don't have a lot more regen.
Yeah, I'm waiting for myself.
Yeah. And TB is like one of those heroes where like tangles are probably good enough, honestly, if you bring it out like a little bit earlier in the game.
Yeah, I was again. I wanted to wait for like the threats plus self.
Yeah.
It's a bit greedy. Yeah.
Exactly. And you see here at this point in the game, like if this is what's happening, where you're in for 1 minute, you're sitting and doing nothing, then this is already two things, right? You made a mistake by not bringing region out right away or earlier before this even happened.
Definitely.
Like you should have foreshadowed this, right? Like there should have been like, and then you should have bought some tangles, or
Yeah, I was thinking like, I have meta, so I'll just like kill them one more time before I go jungle.
right. And again, that's also another greedy thought in this point, right? You want everything. You want everything in the game, but you just gotta like understand. Okay, I'm sitting here. This is freaking annoying. I already have 2 wraith bands. Why don't I just go jungle now? Right? You're already in a position to literally farm the entire jungle every minute. And you're gonna give this Phoenix bottom, and he's gonna get a bunch of XP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This Phoenix is gonna be happy sitting bottom and getting all this XP. Oh, nice. You still end up killing them. Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess it worked out quite well.
Yeah, it ended up working out quite well. But
definitely a mistake for sure. Yeah.
What you can do though, like instead of just waiting too, you could have popped your meta like as soon as you had it. When did you have your meta even?
I had it for a while, but I wanted to wait until more HP.
Right. So like in this situation,
myself. Yeah.
right, 6 minutes. Like in this situation, you could just pop your meta, kill this wave, kill the next wave, and already fuck off and go into a jungle already. You know?
Yeah,
right?
I guess it's not so important that I killed the silencer or whatever, right?
It's not important at all.
Important, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's game is already ruined. You already kicked his ass. You know? Like at this point, the most important thing is you focusing on your farm. This is the third meta. Pop the meta, kill the catapult, kill the next wave, go kill this big camp, go kill the small camp, and start making your way to the jungle and give the support in the lane.
Yeah, definitely.
And you would have already had like a bunch of XP. But you waited a long time without even hitting creeps. Ended up you got some kills off it, but there's gonna be games where you won't get kills, or maybe you might be the one who dies. And then in those games, it's gonna feel much worse, obviously.
So you'd say around like usually 7 or 8 minutes would be a good time, or 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I think you're already in the jungle.
Yeah, plus there's the neutral items as well, right?
Right, exactly. You want the neutral items, and that neutral item is like a big item. It's gonna help you farm even faster as well. So right here, you're going to a jungle, but you went into a jungle because there's too many heroes bottom, right? Yeah. So in normal situations, you're probably going to a jungle even if there aren't a bunch of heroes bottom. You're like going to a jungle because you've already used your meta. But this is good. Farm, and then you make your way back bottom because you see creeps under your tower. And let's check out your net worth this game. It's good net worth. You kill the catapult. Great. And look at your net worth in this game, right? Last game you also had first blood, but you didn't have so much farm. This game you have way more farm. And it's because you actually did end up jungling a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than last game. While this time when you pushed the bottom lane out, it was pretty good too, because you actually like did a jungle farming pattern and then you pushed the bottom lane out. Which was nice. I like that. Okay, let's see what happens next. So now you have meta, and you're here farming in the bottom side still. Then you go left side, you stack the ancients, is it? Oh, it didn't happen.
Feels like
okay.
I tried to stack both camps, but both failed.
Yeah. So here, okay, this is in my opinion a pretty big mistake. So you go bottom. So you're a bottom jungle. You farm through, and then you go to the left jungle, right? This is great. At this point, what you think about is because you have meta up, where can you go? Can you go middle and take this tower? Or can you go top and take the tower? Okay?
Yeah,
like,
I should go top, right?
Yeah, that you can go top because you have a meta and your Mars is like level 6 or whatever. He's got his spells, is great. Now you want to like use these early metas to take the tier 1 objectives, because it's still important that you are taking objectives for your team to keep them snowballing in the game. Right? Because if you don't take any objectives and you're just AFK farming the jungle, now you're just like kind of griefing, right? With your farm that you have. You have 5,000 net worth. If the opponent runs into you when you have meta here, and as long as you have allies nearby to cast spells, you're gonna wipe them. You're gonna kill them all. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely should have went top.
Yeah. So this is the situation where you need to think, okay, I have meta. If my opponents are all middle, then I'll go top. If my opponents are all bottom, then I'll go middle. Okay? I want you to
Yeah.
remember that or write that down. Okay?
Okay.
That's very big because there's gonna be games where the enemy is gonna come bottom and try to attack your safe lane tower, and when that happens, I want you to go mid and pop meta mid and kill their mid tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I try to do usually.
Right.
But sometimes it's difficult to like find the line, like how far I can push it, because there's like some heroes that can kill me. Certain lineups I can't really like go near the tower at all, because they'll just like TP and kill me.
Right. So the scariest hero that you need to think about is probably the enemy mid laner, right? If the enemy mid laner is showing like on the side lanes, then mid is very vulnerable. But if the enemy mid laner is not showing, then you don't want to go middle. You will probably want to go top lane and play with like your off laner to take the tower.
So if I'm against a storm or something, right, then I'll just try to be a bit more like passive.
Sure.
Because and I've learned this the hard way, right? Like at first I just whenever I meta, I just like charge at the tower. But then depending on their lineup, sometimes it's you get punished really hard for that.
Right.
So find like that line, how far I can push it.
Right. In
And,
those
yeah,
situations, then it's much safer that you just go top lane and take this tower, like the enemy safe lane tower, right? Because if you go here and the enemy starts TPing here one by one, and you're like hitting the tower from here, you can just walk away. You're very fast, right? You're meta, so you're range hero. So you shouldn't be afraid that they're gonna like TP in one by one. Because if they jump you, then there's also your opportunity to turn around and fight them and kill them too. You're not weak either, and you have very high HP. You can even click your treads into strength treads when a fight starts. You're gonna have 1,200 HP plus, and you hit for like 200 damage a hit. So they're also scared of you. You have to think about that too.
Yeah, definitely playing too scared.
Yeah, you're thinking about like what they can do to you, but you're not thinking about like what you can do to them in those situations. Okay. Sometimes in fights, manning up is like the way to go, and sometimes you're gonna man up, by the way, and you're gonna like make the wrong call, and that's okay because those are lessons that you learn. You know? Do you know the thing about Sumail? Like, you know who Sumail is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing about Sumail, when he first came into the Dota scene, he was just like a 14-year-old or 15-year-old kid. I can't even remember how old he was, and people thought he was insane. Because he was so aggressive. He would play Storm, he would have like 3 deaths in the first 10 minutes. But on minute 15, he would still be the highest net worth in the game. And you wouldn't understand why. But the thing is, the man was so aggressive. He constantly made so many aggressive moves and like kept trading his life, and like, he practiced it so much. He understood what were good trades and what was bad trades in the game. And he was, because constantly aggressive, the opponent always started being scared of him, and then they started giving him everything that he wanted. Okay, so in my opinion, in Dota, the player who's very aggressive is always going to have an advantage over everybody else, because you can tone down aggression, but it's hard to tone up passiveness.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to like figure out for yourself at some point like how to push your limits in games. So here, like, you go here, you farm this, and then you go back bottom. This is an extremely passive move, in my opinion.
So I should have gone top.
Yeah, you should have gone top, and you should have pushed this tower. Or
But you still clear the ancients first, right?
sure, why not? I don't see why not. I just see that after this, you should definitely you see meta. You should be thinking about like which lane that you can push, and then connect that into a tower pressure move.
Okay.
Okay. If you go bottom though, and your teammates all go bottom, then you should definitely think about going mid and pushing the mid wave and hitting the mid tower. Okay? So let's see what happens next. You farm this really good. Then you see the SF, great. You back off because he's the strongest hero. He will actually kill you. You go into a jungle. Then you go top now. Great. And then you keep going. You push top lane too. That's fine. But here, like, I would 100% have like tried to use my meta to actually push this tower. So if people TP in, I can already start running away. Like this guy, right?
Yeah, I just didn't want to waste the meta because it's such a long cooldown.
Again, because you're thinking about wasting the meta, like you want everything. Now your meta is gonna be off cooldown forever, right? Like your early meta is meant to be used for taking towers and farming. It's not meant for really fighting because, like, you're not trying to fight right now. You're trying to get those big items. Your timings is like once you get the big items. Right? Your early game timing, like with your Dragonlance and your Yashas, are meant to build on your lead, make you farm more, and take objectives or open up the map for your allies.
Yeah, so you definitely have just pop meta here.
Yeah, I mean, you could have popped this meta at like 12 minutes, right? After this, you could have gone top. You could have popped meta, summon the images, kill the creep waves like super fast, taken the tower, right? But now it's like 15 minutes in, and you can see you still haven't had a chance to use your meta yet. Right? And other uses of meta you can do early game is if you stack ancients, you can even pop meta just to kill the ancients quickly.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like another thing too. You can watch like Miracle, you can watch RTZ, like they use meta like very liberally, like they don't care.
Yeah, I've watched like their replays as well.
Right. And here you get gone on, you sunder, which was really nice, but you still end up dead. And you can see here, like if you were actually max range and hitting this tower, if they TP in, you could have just ran away from this SF, right?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you're kind of holding on to that meta, you didn't want to use it, like it kind of led into you like dying in the end. Right? So there's like multiple reasons why you use it. So, and if your meta's on cooldown, then you can always adjust your gameplay. You should be happy if your meta's on cooldown, because then that gives you a reason to farm.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is probably like your second biggest mistake in this game, and that's what led to your first death, and probably like it will slow down your farming a little bit. But ideally, I think in this game, like 11 minutes, 12 minutes, this tower should already be dead. If you like already made through their jungle to go top like that.
Okay. Yeah, that is kind of difficult for me to do as well, like to know when I'm allowed to like just take the tower, because it's not like I always especially the first 10 minutes or so, you're so focused on like laning and your own farm and your farming patterns. Like, I don't really look at what's going on in the other lanes, so sometimes it's hard to tell like whether my team is, I don't even know if it's like we're ahead or behind.
Right. So and that's a really hard thing, right? That's a really hard thing to assess, like if you're ahead or behind. What you can do though is you just feel for yourself in the game. If you're farming everything and then like your farming pattern is leading you towards top, and there's a tower there, and you see like how many heroes are on the map and what they're doing, like you can just go and like poke at the tower. It's not a problem, right? Like if you pop meta and you start hitting the tower and someone TP's in there and you go away, what you've done is create space for your team.
Yeah, that's okay, right? Because I forced him to
react.
TP top.
Yeah, exactly. You force him to react. That means you're giving space to your allies, and now you can just go back and farm. And now you shouldn't feel bad that you're just AFK farming, because you've done something for your team.
Yeah, done something. Yeah.
Right. And that when you force someone here, that means your allies can do whatever they want mid. They can do whatever they want bottom. And you yourself, if you want, you can even TP bottom and like farm somewhere else if you think they over rotate at top. Right. There's so many options for you now. Every TP is like information. Right. Now, what normally happens is nobody TPs and you just get a free tower and you get free gold. Right. And then you just keep farming, and now you can push a lane, and you can even send it to the tier 2, and your opponent now has to react to the tier 2, which is far worse.
Yep.
Okay, so just play your natural flow of the game and just see what happens, and you will actually like and try to take objectives. Like as soon as you had your Dragonlance, I feel like you're super strong. Even if you didn't have Dragonlance, if you just had an Ogre Club, I still feel like you were super strong in the game.
Okay.
Right. And at 10 minutes, you have a catapult also running into your opponent. So it's like another reason for you to actually be there. And like help that catapult take the tower maybe.
Yeah.
Use your illusions to tank.
Dire's
Stuff
bottom
like that.
tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now you go mid because they're all bottom. Okay, and then you see a silencer TP. And honestly, the silencer shouldn't stop you from pushing this lane, you know? It's just a silencer, right? Like,
that's true.
In this situation, like you have to, in the games, you have to really think like which one of your opponent heroes can kill you, right? If that hero who can kill you is not there, then you should not be afraid of anyone. You should actually be okay hitting the tower, and if your opponent runs into you, you should kill them. Right? Here, you got, what is it, an illusion rune? I think you got an illusion rune, right? Or something?
Did I?
Oh no, it's just bugged, I guess. Yeah, it's bugged. So here you have an illusion, and if you were looking at bottom, like you're looking at the fight, you see this SF is so low and whatever, and he's not like coming, or it's like if he stays bottom,
Is under attack.
like you
Radiant's bottom
whatever. Let's say like he dies, it's okay for you to pop your meta and hit this tower, and the silencer runs into you, you just hit him and kill him. Right?
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
should see that you're actually much stronger than this guy is.
Yeah,
because,
yeah, I definitely should have just used meta again.
yeah, just pop meta, drop your illusions, try to take this tower because your teammates are bottom, and you can see that this SF is still showing bottom too.
Mm.
Right? And the moment the SF goes into fog, that's probably when like you want to get out. Right? So that's like another option, like stuff that you can think about with like how you can keep utilizing your strength in the game. Like for example, a player like Miracle would definitely see that, and if he sees a silencer run in to cast last word on him, what he will do is he will just kill the silencer.
Mm.
He would just like send his illusions and his hero to right click the silencer and like probably just kill him, honestly.
Yeah.
Or if the silencer runs away, then he'll just kill the tower instead.
Mm.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. I think my idea was just to like use the illusions to hit the tower and then I go push out top.
Sure.
Yeah. But I guess it's better to just take the tower.
Yeah, or just like poke at it, make more people react, right? Because the silencer alone is not enough for them to really, stop this monster TerrorBlade that you are.
Dire's middle tower.
So can we go back a bit?
has been
Yeah, sure.
Like
What's up?
I think I TP'd bottom, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because there's like a big wave coming. Do
Yeah.
you? I guess no choice.
No,
right?
it's
'Cause
good. You had to TP there. There's a Sven top, and there's no point for you to like stay top anymore, right? They were also hunting you at this
But
point.
okay, it feels bad because like now my team is grouping up top and I want to beat them because I have meta. But I
Uh-huh.
just TP'd bottom. So,
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you tell your team that I don't have a TP, I'm not defending top,
mm,
right? Like, whatever your team does after that, it's not really your problem.
yeah, I can't join them, right? I don't
No,
have.
you can't. You can't. You better just keep pushing bottom.
Yeah,
in
so
this
this,
situation.
like if we go back even earlier, right? Like back to when they were fighting at bottom. So another question I have is, should I ever like join a fight in my own safe lane?
No, you shouldn't.
I realized there's like because I've played like quite a few games of TP by now, and I don't think there's a single game where like I TP bottom to join a fight. Like
Right.
I'll look at the fight, and then if it goes well, right, then they don't really need me, so I just like push out another lane. And
Right.
if it goes badly, obviously I'm not TPing. So I realized like I'm just never TPing to my own safe lane.
No, you're not
No.
keeping to your safe lane. You
Wondering
wanna
if
you wanna apply
mistake.
your own pressure, and you want your opponents to react to your pressure.
So there's like no situation in which I like join a fight in my own safe lane.
There are situations, but it's very rare.
Very rare. Okay.
Very rare.
Because it's
But
so bad, right? I TP them and pop meta and there's no objective.
no, if you TP down here, you pop meta, you're probably dead. You're probably just dead instead. What you want to do as a TerrorBlade is you want to constantly.
Not like now, but like when the fight is breaking out, I should just push another lane.
Yeah, you should probably just be pushing other lanes and applying your own pressure. Like I would rather you push top and like start wailing on this tower or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I just wanted to make sure.
Right. And like keep building on your net worth. Like what you want to be is you want to have like 15k net worth when your opponent only has like 10k or some shit.
Radiant's bottom tower has
And you want to like utilize that and then pop like a big meta and like win a team fight or take Roshan or something with your
Yeah.
items.
Dire's middle tower has been under attack.
Up Sunder, but you still died. Alright, what the heck happened here? So
I
here
was,
you were
like-
bottom, and then you
I
ran
was
mid.
farming towards my team because of meta, but by the time I got there, they're like all dead.
Dire's middle
Yeah.
tower
And I
is
got
under
caught out.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got caught out.
Are fortified.
That's what happened. See, in this position, like you have two teammates dead. There's no real point to like actually fight
Yeah.
because you don't have anybody alive to help you.
Mm.
So it was like a
I
really
should've
bad.
put, like,
Yeah,
bottom
you
or
should
something.
like in this situation. The best thing for you to do, like while your teammates are dying mid like this, is like you should be pushing bottom again. You need to like your team is already dead, right? So you go here and nothing happens. Like you have two options: you either go top or you go bottom, and you start pushing the lanes out. So your opponent don't have any other moves to do after that.
Okay, but when I saw them grouping up, right, and like you can tell the fight is gonna break out.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
wanted
look where
to-
it's breaking out,
to it.
right? It's a really bad place to like
I guess
where they
it's-
are.
Mm, but it's not so bad, right? At least like we're near objectives, and if we kill them, we can take like the mid tower, maybe even the tier 2.
Yeah. I mean, do you think you're in fighting condition right now? Like, do you actually think you can fight your opponent? You have like 3,000 gold in the bank.
Yeah, that's true. Like I should wait for my next item probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I still feel strong. Like I have
yeah. So
lens and
this is the
yeah.
problem in this game. This whole game, I'll tell you, I'm gonna sum it up, okay? This whole game, the reason why you even come to this fight and you do something is because you felt like you've done nothing for your team up until now. And the reason why you felt like you have done nothing for your team is because you're not utilizing your early game metas and like your illusions to put pressure on towers and making a lot of heroes react to that pressure. Okay, so in this game, if you were like 12 minutes in, you rotated naturally to top and use your meta and push this lane, and you just end up farming this jungle and constantly shove this lane into the tier 2 and make like multiple heroes TP top all game long, you wouldn't feel like you need to come to this tower with 2 items and 3,000 gold in the bank. Okay, but because you feel like you have done nothing for like the past 12 minutes, you feel like you got to show up in this fight and do something. Even though this is literally the worst possible fight you can take. 2 of your allies died behind their tier 2 tower, and you're not even in the river yet.
Okay, I mean, like before they died, and I could see the fight is gonna break out.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
do you think it's a mistake to like farm my way towards my team?
Yeah, that's okay. You can farm your way towards your team, but like
right
it's important as a carry though to understand like when a fight is over and you need to do something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? This fight is over. The moment these guys go here and they die, the fight is over. You're here, you're farming, right? You need to think about like where you can go on the map to apply pressure away from your opponent. So they need to like stop what they're doing to come and react to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like immediately here after like both of them die, I should just go towards bottom.
Yeah, bottom or top. You should either be bottom or top. Here, I would even TP top and like start summoning illusions and push this lane on all the way here so the opponent can't take Roshan.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right. So as soon as you have Scotty, maybe that's your timing in this game to do something with your allies. But instead, like you show up because Wind Ranger's going gone on, and then you're like, well, fuck, now I'm dead. Because it's 3 versus, it's literally 3 versus 5.
Yeah, it is so bad.
Yeah. And now they can
like,
just Rosh or do whatever they want at this point. They should have Roshan right away as soon as they saw you were dead, but they're not like that smart at making a move here to do that, so.
We actually did manage to actually we're not even behind by that much. Yeah, but it's...
So this move was really good. You popped meta mid, they reacted, you went top, you pushed that tower. Perfect. This is the kind of stuff like I want to see. But as early as like early game, you know?
Yeah.
You do it at 26 minutes, but I want to see the stuff like much earlier in the game.
Okay.
You hear your allies die, you just get out. Then you
Yeah, don't make the same mistake.
Yeah, don't do it. And here you got meta, your teammates, your opponents are on the low ground. This is really good. You go into the fight. The Sven is going on you. You should just turn around and right click him, slow him down. Wow, amazing. You guys won.
Actually, we lost in the end.
I know. But it's like you guys won this fight.
Yeah.
Which is really good. So here the Sven is alive now. Or sorry, dead still, but they have an SF. So you guys stop pushing. You just farm up. You got BKB now, really good. And now you don't have meta. So here, like, you have to tell your team, like, guys, don't do anything until meta's up, right? Like, you have to tell them, like, don't go in there. Like, they're making some throw moves and you have to let them know. You have to give them a reason to play for something. Which is obviously wait your meta.
I don't communicate enough with my team.
You stay top, you push the lane out, and now your opponent is running mid. And now you have meta up. And again, the same thing. Oh, you pop your BKB. Okay.
Oh, just do... Because he global, so I just BKB then method.
Yeah. And now they just turn around and go on you. You could have just waited, you know? If they use global like that, you could have just waited. Like, there's no stun on this Sven, like, no follow-up, you know?
Ah, but I saw, like, the shackle, like, he got 2 heroes.
Yeah, but can you burst him?
So I just... yeah, it's just like it's difficult to judge this sort of thing. I'm really
Oh
bad
yeah, I know,
at fighting.
definitely. And this SF just gets a monster ultimate. Oh my god.
Combo.
Yeah, really bad. And
But
then,
even after this, it wasn't noble. Like we got Aegis in the end.
yeah,
Radiant's
let's
top
see what
tower
happens.
is under attack.
They're going for Daedalus, huh? Next item.
Yeah, feels like I don't have enough damage. You think there's a problem with my build? Like I've so much HP and not much damage.
Yeah, no, there's no problem with your build. It's just that you have to go BKB, right? Because of all the disables that they have.
Yeah.
But what you can do instead of BKB is you can go for like Satanic, like so you have that status resistance.
Mm.
But yeah, I think Daedalus is fine. You just like get rid of this, and then you get Daedalus, and then later you can get rid of your Dragonlance for another item like Rapier. So you, if they have evasion, you will still be able to kill them.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Okay. I even went for like the HP talent.
Yeah.
I noticed in some games Miracle actually gets the attack speed talent. I guess it's like in combination with your build, right? You just want like a balance of damage and HP.
Right. So here, what happens is your team gets gone on, and then you pop meta. See, it's like another situation like that, right? Where you're kind of popping meta when it's not really a fight anymore, you know? Because right now, what you should be thinking about is like, how can you like get these lanes out and get your Wind Ranger to safety? Like she's gonna get away, and then that way you can like delay the game for your allies to be respawned again.
It's like cut the mid wave or something.
Yeah, cut the midway, push the bottom wave out, you know, like kind of try to delay the game so that you can actually wait for your allies and take 5v5 fights on with your team. Like, these are games where you need to tell your team to like play around you, you know, because you're the strongest hero, you're the one with the meta. If they don't play around you, then they can't actually make any moves on the map. It's late game already, you're the carry. So at this point, like, you really need to be able to tell them to follow you or something. Because these guys are just gonna keep feeding nonstop. If not. Let's go Aghanim's.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Nice, you kill the Tusk. And it's really good with heroes like TerrorBlade to try and kill the easiest target first. Like Silencer, Ogre, these kind of guys.
Are under attack.
If they walk into the fight. Because obviously this Sven is like so freaking hard to kill. Like that Ogre, he just died to the illusions. Not a problem.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Also in this game, if you had a I guess for Sven, like, you don't want to go Manta, but if you had a Manta, then you can also remove the global silence with Manta Style. That's also really nice. So you bought a Daedalus. Honestly, in this game, because like it's so hard, you could have just went Rapier also, especially because you're about to get Aegis here too. Like you could have just gone straight Rapier if you feel like you were lacking damage.
But Rapier is not so good for my illusions, right?
It's not good for your illusions, but your hero does like a bajillion damage, and they also have Halberd on their heroes.
Tower has fallen.
They
Yeah,
have
that's true.
Halberd on this guy, so you can just like burst anybody on your opponent team.
Does Sven have an evasion talent? I can't remember.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
But yeah, you go like, I think in this game, like you could have gone Rapier, and then you could have like, when your Aegis runs out, you have a Satanic. So now you have like a bunch of items to keep yourself alive, and you have Rapier, and you just destroy your opponent. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this fight looks kind of interesting, but your teammates are not there, right?
Yeah.
That's really bad.
I think I shouldn't have been there as well. Like
Yeah, your teammates are like doing something bottom. And you kill the Sansa first, which is nice. You have an Aegis. But
Yeah, TV actually just
Nobody's
feels like
so
such a bad Aegis carrier. Like you just die and then you have no meta and then you die again.
yeah, but it's okay. TB still can fight even without meta too. His illusions and stuff do a lot of damage. But you need your teammates around you. Like in this game, what I noticed is you never had a single 5 versus 5 fight.
Yeah.
Right? There was like this whole entire game. It's like either you're coming in late or like your teammates are dying first.
Yeah, by the
Before
time I
you
get it,
go up.
they're all dead.
Yeah, and that's what happens in this game, right? Like TB is this hero who needs his allies to like help him later on to like play around him. Or like you need to play with your team. Like if your teammates go in, you need to be able to like follow up and do the damage. Or like you take the tower and then your teammates can jump when they try to stop you from taking the towers or the
I think
objectives.
this game, right? Like when I looked at the lineup, but it just looks like we have so much better team fight with the Phoenix and the Mast.
Yeah.
But somehow we just couldn't like fight together.
Because you guys are not fighting together. You guys are like split, right? You're mid and then somebody is like going bottom, right? Or you're top and everybody's going middle. Like they just gotta play around you. And this is important as a TerrorBlade. You gotta ask your teammates, late game especially, guys, I'm 6-slotted, just play around me. We just kill them. Right? Like you have to be able to coordinate that because TB is not a hero where you can just like 5 versus 1 because you will get stunned up. Your illusions will die at some point. Like
Yeah.
when we play competitively, when we're playing against TerrorBlade and he's too fat, what we say is, guys, just kill everybody else, just isolate the TerrorBlade, and then later just kill him. And that's what happened in this game, but actually your teammates kind of went off on their own and did their own shit in the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you lost. But I think you guys could have easily won this game. I thought your lineup was better, even.
Yeah, we scale so much better than them.
Yeah. Like your hero is so good at killing Ogre and Silencer, even the Tusk. They can't deal with you at all. So if any of those 3 heroes enter a team fight, you should just kill them. Super
Yeah, I
quick.
should probably kill the Tusk first. Like the kick is really annoying.
Yeah.
Keeps putting me out of position.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, he went some very interesting items, but so in this game, biggest thing we realized and what you need to focus on and work on is like how to be more aggressive earlier in the game for taking objectives or like forcing the enemy to react to your pressure. Right? That's I think the number one thing. I feel like 11 minutes, 12 minutes, you could have used metas on top lane or mid lane or something.
Tower.
Right, you could have taken the top tower, you could have opened up the map, you could have farmed more with that. And mid game, you have to really like try to gather your teammates around you. So every time you finish an item, like that's a really good benchmark for you to like try and make something happen at an objective.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really hate it when like my team just dives really deep because I can't follow them as a TerrorBlade.
Right. You can't follow them, and that's why you have to like kind of tell them, guys, just play near me. I can't dive with you. You know, just like tell them these things so they can understand better.
When I have mages, right? Like it's so stupid for them to.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. Like tell them, like the best way as a TerrorBlade.
Hit the tower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You hit the tower, let them come into you, and then you guys fight. Right? Like, and these are things that you have to kind of mention to your allies because you're playing Southeast Asia and they're all like wild, crazy animals. Who just wanna go in. So you have to like kind of tame them. You know, you're the tamer, right?
Yeah.
You have to put them on a leash.
I get flamed like every game that I don't go BKB.
Yeah.
Even if they have like Treant Beastmaster or something, like they'll still like keep flaming me if I don't get a BKB.
Definitely happens. Definitely happens. Yeah, I mean, this game. I think I realize a lot, and again, your biggest flaw is like, you always want too much, you know. You always want too much from the game. Like you should just be okay with using what you have, right? Like you pop your meta, 6 minutes in, you push a lane, you go jungle, you farm fast, then 10 minutes, catapults come, you can think about which lane you want to go to utilize the catapult to maybe apply some pressure, right? And then after that, you take a tower, you put some pressure, you can go back to farming again. Like, it's okay to keep using your meta off cooldown if you need to. Just to amplify your farm or apply some pressure and then go back to farming. And then you just have to trust that you're farming faster than everybody else just by doing that. And if your opponents come to you, think about what you can do to them, not only what they can do to you. Right? 10 minutes, Dragonlance, double Wraithband, Treads, TerrorBlade. I feel like that's a monster. That's gonna like 3 versus 1 any hero who runs into him.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty strong early game as well. I don't think I'm like aware enough of that.
Yeah. And as soon as you start doing that, you're gonna like start winning way more games, definitely. And in the mid late game, you have to definitely tell your team like, guys, just play behind me. You know, just cover me. Just tell them to cover you. That's it. No, so they will know that they're just covering you and they're not jumping in like maniacs.
Yeah, I think when I play on my main account, it'll be okay. Like people understand that I'm not like a mobile hero.
Yeah, right. It's okay. Just keep practicing. You're definitely gonna get better. Let me know how things go as well. Like in your future games, I would love to hear about that. And then if there's
Thanks for the help. I really appreciate it.
not a problem.
Yeah, I'll probably play like maybe 50 more games or something. Then we can do another session.
Oh, sure, not a problem. If you want to do other heroes or how to improve your other stuff, if you end up playing on your main account too, we can talk about more advanced things.
Yeah, sure.
Here we definitely, I think your first like 6-7 minutes is really good, but after that, you got a lot to work on and play more aggressively too. And there's like so much in Dota that you can learn, like how to be better with other things. So yeah, let's focus on this of playing aggressively. Utilizing your early game timings to farm like 6 minutes and stuff, and so on, and like try to see like how quickly you end up farming after that.
Yeah, because the game is so much easier when I'm like top net worth. Right?
Yeah, and you will be top net worth while also applying pressure to your opponent if you do what we talked about. All right.
Okay, so one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any tips for like fighting in general? Because I'm just really bad at fighting. Like, I'm not really sure like how to position, when to go in. Like I try to look out for. What I do is I try to visualize like, what kills me, and then so if they have like maybe Earthshaker Sand King or something, I'll tell myself, okay, I'll only go in after like the Echo Slam or the Epicenter.
Right.
But still, I find that I'm not like fighting that well, just in general.
Right. Try to go like as a carry. It's really nice if you try to focus on the enemy supports for the most part. Like heroes who are squishy, try to kill them first. Like getting rid of a squishy hero in the middle of a fight is amazing, right? Like what you can do in a fight is you can focus the Sven first, and then because the opponents see you focusing the Sven, they will run in with the other heroes, and then you just turn around and kill those heroes. Like if an ogre runs in to try and stun someone because you're focusing the Sven, turn around and kill that ogre.
Okay.
Like stop focusing the Sven, And if you do that, like you have to like kind of bait your opponents out. If not, go from the back, right? Like run around into a team fight, get smoked, go to the back, like try to catch the silencer, try to catch the ogre, wherever these squishy heroes are, and try to get rid of them first. Like that's a general like good advice, I think, for carry players. Like just try to kill their supports first, try to remove them from the fight so you can isolate the cores, and then you can just like focus them down with your other disables from your allies.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, because those supports are pesky, man. They have like glimmer capes, they do a bunch of damage, they have like maybe solar crest, Vladimir's, all these things that amplify the enemy cores. Or stuns.
Yeah, they're the ones who stun me, right? So
Exactly.
I should like first.
Exactly. So try to do that, like farming, getting big items, and then also killing supports first or squishy heroes first, and then focusing the other carries. Try to do that and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep.
yeah.
What's up? Anything else?
No, I was just saying like, and don't join fights after the fight is over.
Yeah, don't join fights after the fight is over. Exactly. That's a big one.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Thanks, man. Yeah, I see we've overshot the time by a bit, so really appreciate it.
Dude, don't worry about it. All right. We'll just let me know how it goes.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, I'll do like a follow-up session eventually.
Okay. All right. Have a nice day, man.
This is pretty weird for me because I do like I'm a coach as well. I coach poker, so usually it's like the other way around. Yeah, so now I'm the student and you're the coach.
That's awesome, man. Actually, I would love to get some poker coaching someday. That's sick.
I was just about to say, if you ever want to like get a bit more serious about poker, you can just hit me up.
Damn, that's cool. Okay, I might just do that.
Okay, thanks a lot again.
All right, see you, bro.